I can't believe I'm saying this, but don't glorify Osama bin Laden. He was not a good man at all. You may be saying no fucking shit, but the reason I'm saying this is because there are a select few idiots on TikTok saying otherwise. Now, I want to preface this video by saying Osama bin Laden praising is by no means something that has taken TikTok by storm. I did something last night that I never fucking do, actually go on TikTok, and I searched up Osama's name, and there were a wide range of TikToks condemning those who were praising him on the platform. But I feel this is still worth talking about because this is perfect fodder for Zionists and right-wingers in general who have been cheering on what Israel has been doing to Palestinians. Yes, it's that subject again. You see, the reason why a select few people were praising Osama bin Laden on TikTok was because of a letter he wrote in 2002 titled Letter to America, where he spells out why Al-Qaeda is opposed to the United States and why the September 11th attacks happened. One of the reasons he lays out is the United States' support of Israel's occupation in Palestine. Osama didn't like the mass slaughter of Palestinian civilians, or at least he supposedly didn't like that. I honestly think he didn't really give that much of a fuck in reality. But he at least purported that he didn't like that, so he must have been a misunderstood good guy, right? No. He was able to correctly identify a problem. Big fucking whoop. How did he go about addressing that problem? Getting his goons to hijack planes, crashing them into buildings, resulting in the deaths of over 3,000 civilians. And then the United States was able to use said event as a springboard to launch a full-scale invasion of the Middle East. An invasion that led to even more death and devastation than 9/11, and even further worsened the quality of life of people in the Middle East. Yeah, Osama really fucking cared about these people. It's like giving kudos to Hitler for correctly pointing out that the Treaty of Versailles was unfair towards Germany. France, without much intervention from the other Allied powers, was able to pin a disproportionate amount of blame on Germany for the First World War. This led to Germany having to give up territory and pay, I think, $5 billion fucking dollars in reparations. Obviously, $5 billion is already a crazy amount of money today, but imagine that in the 1910s. Naturally, that crippled Germany's economy, and many of its civilians were impoverished. Hitler was able to correctly identify this problem, but how did he go about addressing this problem? Build up a political party with machinations of making Germany into an ethno-state and exterminating Jews, Slavs, Poles, LGBT people, people of color, and anyone that Hitler deemed an enemy, political or otherwise. Just because someone may be able to provide substantive critique of something does not always mean that they can also provide the solution. Going back to Osama, he was an Islamic extremist rich kid. Do you really think that he, of all people, was this progressive figure that was a fighter for the proletariat? No! If he had it his way, the whole world would be far more regressive than it already is. Women would be forced to wear burqas, LGBT people would be thrown off roofs. So please, do not try to hail this guy as a leftist hero because he is anything but. You can oppose US hegemony while also opposing figures in foreign countries who are terrible people themselves. And like I said at the beginning of this video, this is just perfect fodder for Zionists because, as mentioned previously, this was not some huge sensation on TikTok. This was mostly a fringe group of people who are fucking stupid that Zionists were able to extrapolate and say, see, people who support Palestine love terrorism. Here are these Palestine supporters praising Osama bin Laden. It's like that incident in my college where a student posted Hamas apologia and outright denied the October 7th attack in the Instagram story on the page representing my college's Muslim association. It's just really frustrating dealing with these people who routinely give those who support Palestine a bad name, because saying shit like maybe Osama bin Laden wasn't that bad of a guy, or the October 7th attack didn't happen, but at the same time, if it did happen, that was all of Palestine finally putting their foot down against colonization, is only going to make Zionists feel even more vindicated in the viewpoint that those who support Palestine hate Jews and love it when violence is inflicted against them. And of course, they are going to lunge at the opportunity to use examples such as these to scream to the rooftops that this is exactly what all Palestine Palestine supporters are, in hopes that those who are not so politically in tune and not really keeping up with the Israel-Palestine conflict are going to listen. And perhaps they'll think, these Palestine supporters sure are crazy. Maybe Israel is the good guy and are completely justified in invading Gaza. Please, if you're going to say shit like Osama bin Laden was a good man who stood up against US and Israeli occupation in the Middle East, or Hamas had every right to murder civilians, then don't fucking say shit in regards to this current conflict. That's all I have to say. Bye-bye.